All right, today we're diving into something fascinating, a thorny, super resilient tree that has this wild connection to the cosmic forces shaping our lives. We're talking about Khadira, also known as the sacred tree of cosmic shadows.
So, let's just jump right in with a huge question, right? Can a thorny tree actually conquer cosmic chaos? I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a myth, doesn't it? But you're about to see that the answer is, well, it's deeply rooted in some really ancient astrological tradition.
Okay, first things first, let's meet the main player on the cosmic side of things, Rahu. Now, in Vedic astrology, or Jyotish, Rahu isn't a planet you can see with a telescope. It's a shadow planet, specifically the north lunar node. Think of it as this incredibly powerful, kind of chaotic energy. It's all about ambition, illusion, those desires you just can't shake, and yeah, it can push you to amazing heights or, get you tangled up in some serious karmic knots.
So it's not just Rahu we're dealing with. We've got two pretty challenging cosmic forces at play here. On one hand, you've got Rahu, the shadow of illusion. This is the energy that can whip up obsessions, scandals, even those weird, shadowy kinds of success. And then on the other hand, you have Mars, or Mangal. That's the fire of conflict. Think fevers, feuds, aggression. But it's also the source of our vitality and courage. The thing is, both of them are super powerful, and if they're not balanced, they can really stir things up.
So the big question is, what on earth could possibly stand up to these intense cosmic energies? Well, this is where our hero comes in, the Khadira tree. Its scientific name is Acacia catechu. And believe me, this is not just any old tree. It's seen as a powerful earthly anchor.
I mean, this tree is basically the definition of resilience. It grows and even thrives in really difficult, arid soil. It's got these thorny branches, gnarled bark. It just looks tough. And that physical toughness, it's a perfect symbol of its spiritual power. We're talking about unyielding strength, especially when things get hard. Plus, deep inside its heartwood, it produces this really valuable extract called katha. And trust me, you're going to want to remember that name, because it's a huge part of the story.
Okay, so we've met the tree, and we've met the planets. Now it's time to connect the dots. Let's get into the really cool part, the cosmic connection. How exactly does a tree tame a planet?
So here's the absolute key takeaway. Khadira is known as Rahu's arboreal anchor. Just think about that for a second. Arboreal anchor. An anchor, right? It's what keeps a ship stable and grounded, stops it from getting thrown around in a massive storm. And that's exactly what Khadira is said to do for the wild, chaotic, stormy energy of Rahu. It grounds it.
And the connection gets even more specific, which is just so fascinating. In Vedic astrology, you have the 27 lunar mansions, the nakshatras. While Khadira is the presiding plant, the sacred tree for one of them called Ardra Nakshatra. And guess who rules Ardra? You got it, Rahu. So it's like this direct cosmic phone line. By working with the tree, the idea is that you can cut through all that deception and illusion that Rahu loves to create, and you can actually find clarity in the middle of all that chaos.
All right, so now we kind of get the why behind this connection. So let's switch gears and talk about the how. This is where we get practical. We're going to look at Khadira's sacred remedies, everything from how it neutralizes these planetary nodes to the actual rituals of resilience.
So if you want to appease Rahu, the ritual is super specific. On a Saturday, that's Rahu's day, and ideally when the moon is passing through Ardra Nakshatra, you'd plant a Khadira sapling. Then you'd anoint its roots with that katha paste we talked about. Finally, you chant the Rahu Bij mantra, Om Ram Rahave Namaha, 108 times. And the whole point of this? It's to sort of eclipse Rahu's doshas, or its negative influences, and help steer you away from things like addiction and obsession.
Now, what about Mars? The approach for pacifying Mars is totally different. This one happens on a Tuesday, which is Mars's day. Instead of planting a tree, you use something called Khadira basma. It's a specially prepared calcined ash from the tree. You mix that with a little honey and wear it in a copper locket. Then you recite the Mangal mantra. The idea here is to get Mars's more malefic side under control, to help quiet down conflicts, and it's even said to help with things like blood or skin issues.
And it doesn't just stop with Rahu and Mars. Khadira has other really powerful uses. For example, there's a pawn rite where you chew a beta leaf with some katha on a new moon, an amavasa, and that's supposed to purify your speech. Or you can burn Khadira twigs in a fire ritual, a homa, to boost your vitality. And there's even a decoction made from the bark with milk that's used to help build up your strength. It's pretty versatile.
Okay, and this right here, this table just lays it all out perfectly. It's a fantastic summary of everything we've been talking about. See, for Rahu and Ardra, you've got the sapling planting on a Saturday, aiming for obsession relief and innovation. For Mars, it's the Bosma locket on a Tuesday, for vitality and resolving conflict. And for general harmony, linked to Rudra, you've got the Panchu or Havan on the new moon for purification and endurance. It really shows you how each purpose has its own unique remedy, timing, and benefit. Super clear.
So, we've gone over the rituals, the practical stuff, but to really, truly get what Khadira is all about, we have to go a little deeper into its spiritual symbolism. This is where we shift from the what to do to the what it means. Get this, even the thorns on the tree are loaded with meaning. They're thought to look like the trident of Rudra, who's a really fierce form of Shiva, often associated with storms. And think about a storm, right? It can be destructive for sure, but it also cleanses everything. In the same way, those thorns are seen as a kind of divine protection, guarding sacred treasures and symbolizing that cleansing power that comes through struggle and transformation.
And let's go back to Katha, that powerful extract from the tree's heartwood. What's its deeper meaning? Well, it's basically a symbol of alchemy. It perfectly parallels Rahu's own hidden potential for transformation. It's all about this idea of transmuting tamas, which is like darkness, inertia, sluggishness, into tejas, which is spiritual brilliance and light. It's literally about finding the light inside the shadow.
You know, if I had to pick one single line to sum up everything we've talked about, it would absolutely be this one. Stellar strength sprouts from spiny soil. It just perfectly captures the whole idea, doesn't it? That our greatest strengths, our most profound spiritual growth, it doesn't come from the easy stuff. It comes from the difficult, challenging, thorny situations in our lives. So let's leave it with this final thought to chew on. The Khadira tree really teaches us that incredible resilience and power can be found in the absolute harshest environments. So the question I want to leave with you is this. In your own life, where can you find strength in your adversity? Where is your spiny soil? And what kind of stellar strength is just waiting to sprout from it?